Hey, this is Asha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you today is how I plan things out for my video courses as far as launching them. Even if you're doing things like an ebook, this will still help you out. So stay tuned. I'm going to share with you this insight in this video. All right, so let's kick things off. I plan these things out in Notion, and Notion kind of looks like this. Now, if you go ahead and use some other software like Airtable, if you use Excel, if you just do sticky notes, that's perfectly fine. But the point is that the tool is not as important. But here I'll show you Notion and how I go about it, and maybe it'll give you some things to think about and some insights. So anyway, let's kick things off. This is basically our Notion project. Yes, you could have dark mode if you want. So, you could just switch the lights if you like it dark, if you like it light. I'm going to leave it light for the time being. So I have this marketing sequence that's basically set out. It's within their new timeline view, which I really like for launch sequences. Now, I don't usually do a lot longer durations when I'm doing kind of launches. It's really just kind of, hey, for that day, that's what I kind of need to schedule. Now, let's kind of start things out. The way that I go about creating this is I know that all these red dots, everything has kind of its own thing going on. So the bells are basically, hey, I need to send some kind of alert. The reds are kind of, hey, I need to record something like a video. The links is maybe adjusting a website. The check marks are kind of for me, like, hey, here's the section. Maybe we're launching and I need to open up another section. And then here I've got kind of emails. So the email part is really just more about, hey, I need to go ahead and send out an email at that point. So when I look at kind of these kinds of things, you could just drag things out as needed. First, I go ahead and write out all the emails that I need. So if I need, hey, launch day, all the videos I want to record, all the types of emails, and then I kind of just start moving them around. So if I need to move one a little, let's say forward or back, I just kind of take this and I'll drag it over here or over there. Now I'm not going to move it around because this is an actual launch that's going on right now. Actually, it's going on right here for this course, Options Mastery Foundation version 2.0. And what I basically do is go ahead and say, hey, the website needs to be updated, or what are the emails that need to be written out. So I even have some things like, hey, Happy New Year. Tomorrow there's a webinar that's already going on for January 19th. Even though right now we are in November, we already have an email here scheduled and it's already complete. So this is the type of task it is. So there's only a few things that I do for launches. It might be email, social media, convert box, which is like a pop-up, a website, YouTube, and maybe a milestone. Now, sometimes in some situations, I don't really use ads as much right now, but in some cases we may go ahead and use ads, and in that case we'll add in another type, and then we'll be playing with ads or advertisements. But from a basic launch perspective, kind of like, hey, you're prepping people, and the question is are you doing a lot of like coming soon videos? So in that case, you might do a bunch of like coming soon areas. So in this case, look, you've got coming soon, coming next week, and then you set up the coupon, and then boom, it's launch day. So there's a lot of things like here, we've got a lot of stuff before the launch. Then all this is maybe like during the launch. Okay, so you can see there's a handful of things before, then there's during the launch, as we're launching, as it's active, as the sale is happening, or as the course is active. This could be like an open enrollment if you're doing things like, hey, it's open now, you can join. And then you'll do a bunch of other things like, hey, after it's closed. Now, in my case, it's more of when the coupon is closed, we kind of leave the courses open because you never know when people are going to join your course. So in our case, we leave it open because we have people that get more interested in investing all the time. So this is for the investing part, one of the investing courses. So it's kind of like, hey, last week to get at a discount, few days, boom, it's over. And then this is kind of like after. So even after, there's an opportunity to kind of get the course, maybe to remind them. And if people contact us, boom, you can still maybe get a discount, that kind of thing. So we give another opportunity, but you can see there's kind of 3 levels to it. It's like the before the launch, during the launch, and after the launch. So you have all those sections. And as far as planning it out, so I might go ahead and look at things from a board view. So this board view gives me like, okay, well, here's a couple of random things. Here's my milestones. Here's all the YouTube videos I need to do. And you can see I still don't have all of them complete. I have a couple of other quick videos that I need to do. Here's all the emails we need to write. And those are kind of written out already. There's some social medias to schedule. That one's not complete, so we need to maybe either look into that. Maybe it is complete by the team member. We just didn't flag it. We need to set up the convert box for these different areas. Website links adjusted, set up the coupon code. That was done. So put in all your things. This is basically what I do. I put in all the things I need to do here, and I kind of organize them by category. Then what I might do is hop on over to, you could do it by calendar. So I could see, hey, where did these things go? So I could either take a look at things on a calendar and either move this around over here or move it back over there. So you could move that there. Actually, this coupon code doesn't even need to be that long. So go ahead and move this, shorten that up, move that back over there. So, so you can go ahead and then schedule it based on the dates, where you want them to be, and move them around if you want to do it that way. Then I really like the timeline. That also gives me a good insight, a bigger picture. So it's a little more difficult to see that zoomed in, but if I zoom out a bit, you can kind of see that. And this is really handy to see, okay, where does that go? Where does that fit? And do we have any other things? Okay, and then towards the end of the launch, finally we do like a bonus webinar, and that kind of concludes everything. So this is just sorted by date. So that's a nice view and approach, kind of like looking at the timeline. So sometimes you can also use this as far as, hey, how long will something take? In my case, it's like, hey, that's the due date, D-O date, not like do, D-U-E, but do, like doing it that day. So I look at it in this way. For the date, and of course you could just look at like any videos you want to launch, so you could filter that by the videos. You could do it by a detailed list, like here's a full list of everything's going on, sorted by date. So you could see there's a few things not complete, so I could just quickly look at this. Okay, which ones need to be complete? But hey, part 1's released, so I know that's complete. Part 2 is already scheduled, and part 3 is also scheduled. So I could just quickly change things up, and that's a good way of looking at things. It's like, hey, today's date is what? Okay, it's the 27th. Do I have anything I need to do that's urgent, or what's the next thing? And the next thing would be kind of this video, because we're November 27th, 28th. So, most things are good to go for the launch, and I do have a few more things to do, because you could pre-do quite a bit of this stuff, and that's what I typically do, is I'll redo a bunch of things or do things ahead of time. So this way, those things are at least done, or it frees up some of the workload. But as far as doing everything ahead of time, sometimes that's a little more difficult, because you also want a little flexibility in your launch in case you need to tweak things, move things a little bit this way or that way. So I try to give a little extra flexibility in that if needed. So anyways, that's basically the way that I do it. Sometimes I will mark things like notes as well. For the video, I might put in notes, and that's what you see right there. There's like a little icon there. So if anything has that there, then that would be it. Otherwise, it's like email, recordings, maybe like a milestone, maybe an alert, something on the calendar. And that's basically it. That's my whole launch sequence. It doesn't have to be complicated, but of course you do have to then do all the things that go with it, whether it's updating kind of the website, the links, the buttons, the sales pages, making sure they work properly, getting this video done, the sales video. I don't even know if I put it on here, something like a sales video on here. So if, let's say, I want to add a sales video, so I could go ahead and say, okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We'll do like a recording, and I might make this one a little different. So let's say I've got a circle, and I might do something yellow so it stands out, or green. You could even do something like that, like record sales video for the website. And then this could be, let's say the sales video would be launch day. So that was the other day, which I already did, and it is complete. And that was for the website. So boom. So you could see now you've got like a little system of things that you need to do and take care of. So yeah, that's the way you would look at it. And then you can see, once you go into the marketing timeline, there's my sales video, and it stands out a bit because that one's a little more critical maybe. So that's the way I look at launches. That's the way I approach them, and the way I kind of manage and manipulate the schedule for it. And I do this in Notion. You could do it in Airtable. You could just use sticky notes. Whatever your heart desires, that's up to you. That's not the big thing. The point is to just schedule things accordingly and get a few things done ahead of time, so that way, as your launch is moving, you don't have 5 things to do every day. You could at least, maybe you might do 1 or 2 things every week, but at least it's not like 5 or 10 things to do per week. So I usually do about 50% to 70% of all of this before the launch week happens. And then maybe the remaining part as the launch is happening. I just kind of slowly work on it with time. So anyways, that's kind of my scoop. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to grab some freebies on our website at backstageincome.com. Definitely appreciate you sticking by. Check out the other videos that we have, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Anyways, thanks again, and I will see you next time.